Israel's Netanyahu gets election campaign boost, courtesy of Trump administration. Jerusalem Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu got an invaluable election season boost Wednesday when America's top diplomat arrived with a handshake, lavish praise, and a photo opus. Secretary of State Michael R. Pompeo flew from Kuwait City to Jerusalem as part of a three-nation Middle East tour aimed at countering Iran and shoring up Netanyahu ahead of a tough April 9 race to hold on to office. One recent poll, Pompeo said his first trip to Jerusalem as Secretary of State had been long planned and the U.S.-Israeli relationship transcends national politics. "There's always an election," Pompeo told reporters traveling with him. "I am going to but Netanyahu is not wasting the symbolism." After he shows, Pompeo said the focus of his two-day visit was to coordinate with Israel steps to take against what he called radical Islam, and especially Iran. "The threats in the region are real," Pompeo said, "and time-sensitive." Later, as he received Pompeo at his office, Netanyahu was effusive in his embrace of the U.S.-Israeli relationship, saying the alliance had never been better, and also gave emphasis to dangers he said were threatened by Iran. One topic that does not appear at the top of the secretary's agenda is forging peace between Israel and the Palestinians. The administration is preparing what it describes as a comprehensive plan to end the decades-old conflict. Pompeo and the state, they have struggled to find support for the plan among key players in the region, including Saudi Arabia. Some regional lead. The tortuous issue was further complicated when Trump moved the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, despite Palestinian aspirations to count on part of the Holy City as the capital of a future independent state. The Palestinian, while in Kuwait City, reporters tried to pin Pompeo down on how the administration now views Israel's occupation of the West Bank and the Golan Heights. The State Department, Pompeo refused to answer a direct question on the status of the West Bank and the Golan Heights, which Israel seized from Jordan and Syria, respectively, during its war with them in 1967. "There has been no change in the policy," he said at a brief news conference in the Kuwaiti Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Netanyahu has been pushing for the United States to recognize Israeli sovereignty over the occupied territories, and the efforts have gotten some support from U.S. conservatives. Later Wednesday evening, with Pompeo at his side, Netanyahu declared that the Golan Heights will be part of the Israeli state forever. Copyright 2019 Los Angeles Times. Visit the Los Angeles Times at www.elateams.com. Distributed by Tribune Content Agency, LLC.
Raindrop, truck top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.